Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is James, aka the Comic Raider, and we are back for Saga September. We are now on Saga Volume 4. This is gonna collect, I think, 19 through 20 something, right? Sorry, 19 through 24. And I have to say, the first Saga trade is the most important, right? It sets up the characters, who they are, all that kind of stuff. So far, now again, in the box set that I have, there's probably, 9 volumes. This is what I would say is probably the best. It's also, this is Saga. This is, it's almost like, it would be doing a disservice to have someone jump into this trade without getting the backstory from the previous ones, but this is the one that really sets up everything, and you get everything in here. I should have said this from the very beginning. These reviews are not made for children. I repeat again, these reviews are not meant for children. This volume truly has it all. The nudity, the sex, the violence, gore, drugs. It has everything. Everything that Saga is all in volume 4. It's almost like I would tell someone to read through this volume. If I were to be like, hey, you should really check out this series if you haven't already, but read through volume 4. If you are not into it by this one, and I understand that's kind of a commitment, but honestly, these are so easy to breeze through. If you read through 4 and you truly are like, nah, it's not for me, then okay, I can dig that. Because like I said, this is the one that's really sets it all up. I'm not going to show it, but it starts with a close-up point of view of a baby being born. Prince Robot, the Force child, is being born, and you see the TV head popping out through the you-know-what. And so anyways, we then have, the birth, and then some interesting dialogue that occurs there. Prince Robot is still nowhere to be found at this point. And then the crocodile nurse that was helping is like, hey, can you give us a cleanup in that room? You can see he's up to something. Who is this guy? We don't know yet. He's obviously one of the robots, right? He's got the TV head and all that good stuff. But yeah, and so then this is a big part of this volume. They have found this new planet. They're chilling on this new planet, Gardenia, and Marco's a stay-at-home dad, right? And he's taking Hazel out, and he's giving her, letting her play on jumpies and all that kind of stuff, but he's bandaged up to basically try and disguise himself. So then you meet the dance teacher, cute little alien, right? And, she's just like, oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a decent conversation between the two, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, but she says, oh, I run a dance studio, you should bring your daughter sometime. And then he's like, okay, I'll think about it. Meanwhile, boom, she did it. She became an actress. She is acting on the circuit, they call it. And so to kind of give you an idea of the circuit, it's basically a bunch of people put on those VR headsets and then they watch. But when they are watching in their room on the VR headset, but it appears as if they are in the audience watching the circuit for them. And that's how the people on the circuit see them, is as audience members. So anyways, they're all fighting. They're telling her that she kind of sucks. She's not very good at it. And she really needs to get better or she is about to be fired. And then you kind of meet this lady who's like, nah, you fire her and I quit. And then the lady who runs the circuit is like, that's not going to work again. She better get it together. Fast forward, we have our first kind of little bit of a fight. They um, yeah, they tell her that like, oh, he took Hazel out to the playground, and she gets upset because she's like, dude, we said that we were gonna lay low. Like, what the hell are you doing? Blah blah blah. And then she tells her, hey, I love you, I love you. And then she goes, we're gonna be okay, right? And the issue ends with, this is the story of how my parents split up. I'm telling you, man, this is a series. It's emotional. There's a lot that goes on here. The start of the next issue is an orgy. Not gonna show that, but Prince Robot is busy. I guess I did kind of show you. Sorry. Prince Robot's in the middle of an orgy. You should remember these people. They're on Sextillion again. But one of the workers tells the boss lady, I'm forgetting her name, but he's like, that he just had a baby. And she's like, hey, whatever he's here for is for him. Now, Mama Sun, that was her name. She's like, hey, until his credit runs dry, he's here. And she's like, hey, that's probably the reason why he's here, is because of the baby. Fast forward, you got Marco being, dad. Kid wakes up screaming, crying, and then, all that good stuff. Alana is still doing the circuit, and then it turns into finding out that this lady that kind of does like the costumes and all that kind of stuff, that she's a drug dealer. She's into drugs. They're going to do this drug called Fade Away. Basically, pop it, you're going to go, you're going to fade away. Your mind is going to just fade away. So Alana's like, perfect, I need it. She feels stressed. She feels like, again, she's not doing great right now in the circuit. And she's just got so much pressure on her that she needs to have this drug. So she takes the drug and she goes into Trippy Land. She's naked, so I'm not going to show that page either. But fast forward to Marco is at the dance studio, and he's kind of getting to know the lady here. And, it's like, hey, is there something going on here eventually between the two of them? Oh, here's Mr. Needed to Clean Up, right? We're going to get into this. She just had her baby. That's Prince Robot, the forced wife. And she just had the baby. Here is the cleanup guy. And he's like, oh, don't worry about me. I'm just here to clean up. He says, I've been a custodian here for 2 years and you don't even know my name. And he goes, don't wake the baby, princess. I already gave your guards the night off, unsheathing a bloody knife. And he basically is telling her that he would never harm a child. He's a father, but his son died, and he had diarrhea. He had a condition that he pooped himself to death, basically. And he tells her the story of like how his son died, and he goes, "This is all, again, spoiler, all that, but this is Saga." He's like, "Oh yeah, my son. The day he died, his belly was swollen like a balloon ready to burst. You know what his last words to me were?" And she says, "What?" And then you're like, "Oh, I gotta turn the page, right?" Boom, we turn the page. Boom, stabs her through the freaking head. Through the head. The mother of this baby that she is holding murders her while holding a baby. And then takes said baby. Crazy. Kills her, kidnaps the baby, basically killed everybody else up in that place. He went postal for show. And then he realizes, we're going to go to the circuit. We're going to broadcast my message. Let's fast forward now to Alana. Alana is like, I don't know. They're talking about taking drugs and blah 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 blah. And then she's definitely into this whole fadeaway, maybe even too much so. Meanwhile, Marco is still bringing Hazel to play with the daughter of the other girl. Ooh, what's that hand on that thigh? Ooh, what is going on there? And she says a healthy marriage needs a few secrets, right? Nah, don't do it, Marco. Don't do it. From the moment it's formed, a family is almost always under attack. There were some big lines in here. There was one line that I wrote down that I was like, I gotta make sure I mention that. Of course, I'm probably gonna forget it, but that's definitely one of them. But anyways, yeah. So then, let's see. Then there's this spaceship action going on. There's two sides fighting, the robots and the people from Wreath. And then they're being attacked by Mr. Postal. And he's got the baby. He's got a dude's head and spine. The little funny character on the TV. He's got the guns. He's got the grenades. He is just tearing up everybody here. Blasting people in the face. I mean, it's... Whew. Alana gets a raise. She's getting better at the acting thing. She's also high all the time. She's kind of high right there. They're kind of starting to get a little suspicious of her. Like, why the heck are you high? Then you have Marco and her are going to get it on pretty graphically on this next page across both pages. It's intense. We're going to skip past that. Marco obviously was feeling like, you know, an attraction to this other lady. He needed his wife. He needed her in that moment before he did something. Meanwhile, Prince Robot is... Oh yeah, he's basically dreaming of his family that he doesn't even know actually does exist at this point. But he's dreaming of them. And then they wake him up. So they finally decide, look, let's wake him up. Let's see what's going on. And I love this part. You want, again, page-turning moments. She says, hey, look, you know, your son, I'm sorry to tell you that your wife has been killed. And then he's like, what? And she goes, yeah, but thankfully, we have every reason to believe that your son is alive. And he goes, I have a son? Yes. When was this baby born? As he gets up, he says, when was this baby born? And she says, 21 days ago. And he does that look, tilts his head. Let's turn the page. Boom. Blasted through the chest. Pissed the hell off. How dare you not tell me that my son was born 20 days ago? Oof. Man. So then he's like, I need to go see my father. I have to go see King Robot. He will know what to do, how to handle this. Let's fast forward to number 21. Yeah, basically, Marco's off doing his thing. Alana's off doing her thing. She's still taking all the drugs. Dun, 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 dun. And then, oh yeah, there was a moment here at which, yeah, she improvs a line during her scene. The line is, never worry what other people think of you, because no one ever thinks of you. And everyone likes it, but then the lady that's been the drug dealer's like, what is wrong with you? She's aware of the novels. She goes, you just said a line from Oswald Heist's novel. And she's like, look, dude, no one's gonna get it. No one's gonna put two and two together that, you know, that could possibly be me, you know, and that I said that line. Well, guess what? Remember these guys who are trying to write that story? He happens to be watching the circuit, and he's like, oh my god, that's her. That's her. Prince Robot, he goes to visit his father. The epic reveal of his father. Look at that plasma 87 inch TV. Holy crap. His father is a plasma screen TV. That is insane. That is hilarious. I loved that. He's talking to his dad. His dad and him basically get into it. His dad's like, you're a spoiled child. You know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's basically telling him, like, you went off and had another one of your episodes. This is what happened. And my royal guards are going to figure it out. Like, you go sit and sulk you know. I don't really care. You're just a disgrace. Mr. Gale, Special Agent Gale, I think it was, or whatever, he comes back. He's telling Prince Robot, oop, I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. He tells him, oh yeah, he's tracking the ship, and he gets him, yeah, he gets him to the guy. He's telling him basically where the guy is that's gonna have his kid, I think. Then let's fast forward to Marco happens to be coming back home from groceries, and Alana is coming home from getting dropped off. And then he's like, oh. And then she saw them pass the drugs. And then he goes, you do drugs now? And she says, I don't do drugs. I use Fadeaway to help me get through a soul-crushing job that I only go to. And he interrupts, says, so you can take care of helpless me. Yeah, I know. Why are you shutting me out? They're obviously having issues at this point. She is, the trope of, who doesn't matter if it's husband, wife, but one of the partners is so locked into work, so just, I have to work, but I also hate it. So I'm basically hating everything about my life and shutting everyone out, and that means Marco for right now. And he tells her, like, okay, since you want to come at me and start accusing me of stuff, who's Ginny? And he's like, Ginny, that's the dance teacher lady. And she says, then why are you saying her name in your sleep? Oh, snap. And then he says, forget all that. Have you ever been high in front of our child? And she's like, don't try to change the subject. And he says, have you ever been high in front of our child? And she says, so what if I have? And then he throws the groceries at her, and then she's shocked that he did that. And she kicks him out. And he's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what. She goes, get out, leave. And yeah, he ends up being kicked out. And it's a tough situation for them to be in, But it is what it is. So, fast forward, people are leaving the circuit, and boom. I don't even remember his name, but oh my gosh, he literally says right there, my name is Dango. Perfect timing. What a segue. I'm an expert at this. He says, I need to be on the open circuit. He's basically telling them, I need to make a broadcast right now. And they're trying to explain to him that you can't just start the show anytime you want. The commission runs it, blah, blah, blah. So he's just getting pissed off and is just shooting everybody. And then drug dealer lady's like, look, I can't help you broadcast right now, but I'll give you something better if you let me live. I'll give you something better. Well, what would that better be? Maybe that she knows the location of a couple of lovebirds. Whose house did he pull up to as he gets kicked out? Oh my goodness. And then she gonna answer in just nothing but a t-shirt on. So anyways, he kind of tells her how he got kicked out, and she's like, no, go ahead, come in. And a lot of people who came into my family's life looking like heroes ended up acting more like villains. Meanwhile, Prince Robot has found this ship. He decides to go on to the ship. He says, I just want to talk. He's looking for Dango. He's realizing that all these people have been murdered on this ship, but he sees a dirty diaper and he realizes that my son is still alive. And so then she's telling Dango the story. You're lying with the lion cat. And she tells him, like, everything that's going on. Here's how Alana and him have ended up here. And she's like, look. And he goes, why are you telling me this? And she goes, because I just don't want to die. I just told you a valuable piece of information. And yeah. So fast forward. He's like, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to, do my broadcast. And then he ends up, blasting her anyways. And he's like, alright, fine. I might as well go check out this story that she told me. See if there's anything that, is going on. And, now Isabel and Alana get into it. She doesn't want to be pressed about the drugs. She doesn't, yeah. And, fast forward. And, you can, when you read it, you can sympathize with Alana. You can go, what the hell is wrong with you? You're throwing your life away because of drugs. But, look, that's just how she is trying to cope right now. And it is what it is. Fast forward, Marco and Ginny, they're on the couch about to kiss, and then he's like, no. And he goes, oh, Poink Poink. That's Hazel's toy. She goes, oh yeah, you left it here the other day. And he's like, look, I need to get back to her. I need to get back to her. And so he leaves. He ends up not doing anything that he will come to regret later, right? So, meanwhile, the girl, Hazel, is just screaming and crying because she can't go to sleep without Ponk Ponk. And Alana's like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going wrong. Like, I don't know. I hate my job. I hate my life. I miss my husband. I miss my family. Da da da. As she's having that moment, intruder alert, intruder alert. And he's like, oh, wow, that was actually true. There really is a little girl here. So he picks up Hazel. And he goes, I'm not going to harm a child. Don't make me start. And Alana tells the tree to just take off as kind of like a way to catch everyone off guard. Of course, it does catch everyone off guard, so then she's able to safely swing and pick up Hazel. The mom then starts attacking Dango. She bites off his finger, and he then cracks her over the face, and then he grabs her, and he says, he tells her that you're gonna take this ship to the coordinates that I tell you to, or I'm gonna kill her. And then Hazel says, this was the story of how my parents split up, but it's not the end of our story. And Marco pulls up to see his family take off without him. But oh, what the heck, I thought that lady was shot. And she goes, look, I'm a coward, I can't believe I did what I did, but I told the guy everything. And so she's like, I told him everything. And now he took your family. And then, guess who pulls up just at the right time? Prince Robot the Fourth pulls up. Alright, let's fly through these last couple ones. So then, number 24, you've got the Brand. She's looking for, trying to figure out the whole situation. What happened to the will? She's talking to Goose. And he's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. He kind of tells her that like Alana and the family was there, and he's like, oh yeah, they were here. I remember seeing them. And then he's also says, I also saw this dark girl with some horns, which is Gwendolyn, and the Brand doesn't know of her at this time. So now let's go check in on Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is still with Sophie. Sophie's a little older now. But the two of them, there's actually a great moment coming up here. The two of them are trying to steal some files. We don't know what they're stealing yet. But, yeah. So anyways, really awesome. Gwendolyn thinks that she took everyone out, but she didn't. She gets cracked by this dude from behind. And he says, don't fret, Moppet. After I'm done with your friend, I still have plenty left for you. As he unbuckles his pants. What a creep. Let's turn the page. I can't wait to see what's on the next page. That's amazing. That is amazing. This is what I'm talking about. If this don't get you... Oh, man. Anyways. The Brand. Now, the Brand has found them. And she's like, what is going on here? Why'd you stab my brother? And then the little girl's like, I'm the one that did it. I stabbed him. And so now they're deciding that they're all going to work together. And we are going... But what they were stealing is they're stealing kind of like a spell, an elixir that's going to heal the brother. So now they're all ready to go heal the brother. And they need to go get dragon semen, which they can get off of Dimamonde, which is the planet. And then the Brand says, oh, that's where the stock is from. And then we get a little flashback, a sexual flashback of the Stock and Will as they get it on. Meanwhile, Will is still in the hospital. Can't show that page. And then we've got Goose has another visitor. This time it's that lady. I don't remember her name. But she's kind of like telling him, look, I'm here about Hazel, we're trying to find her, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe we could try and track the animal. And Marco and Prince Robot have teamed up because they need to find their families, and Goose is gonna help them find their families. And that is where this story ends. They give you some variant covers. I would love to have this one. That's a Psycho reference from. That's amazing. Variant cover by Massimo Carnevale for the Italian edition of Volume 4 from BAO Publishing. I would love that. But yeah, so that's where our story takes off. So I know this was a long one. As you can see, there's a ton to cover in Volume 4, but you had everything. You have all the ingredients that make the Saga recipe are all in Volume 4. Everything. The emotions, the fighting, the characters, their relationships, their struggles, their ups and downs, death, plenty of people dying in this one. Panel page turning, you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what's on the next panel. Just, it's all in here, man. It's all in Volume 4. I really love Volume 4. Now we gotta see, and again, the thing ends, the family's separated. They are away from their children, and now they need to find their children. And now, Volume 5, as you can imagine, we're gonna be on the quest for reuniting the families. Do they find them in Volume 5? I don't know. We'll find out. I don't really remember the story per volume, so we shall see. But you're gonna have to stay tuned for Volume 5 of that. So, that's it for now. Thanks for the support. Check out Saga for Saga September. If you're not hooked already, let me know in the comments what you thought below. And yeah, man, till next time, Comic Raiders out, baby. Deuces.